WIIFTDPN. WIIFTDPN.
We having my
DPN.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed. Special thanks to Love McPherson.
And when you talk about object sex, you and objectifying that woman, you glorify pieces of her. And let me tell you something. If you think that doesn't matter, it does. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. I looked at a video and I was looking at these young boys, these teenagers, and they were like, do you like black women or white women? I like white women. I like white women. And first I felt some kind of way. Then you know what happened to me? I started listening to them and they said, why did you like the white women? Because they'll do anything for you. Yeah, the white hoes.
Bitch, you is a hoe. Bitch, you is a hoe.
And I thought pornography has elevated what the white woman will do for you, the objectifying of her. And this is why we don't realize, even in our spaces, the black man is shut down because he doesn't know the power of his seed like the white man knows the power of his seed.
Oh, look. Just like milk.
He doesn't realize that you sit up there coming into my neighborhood, objectifying my white women because you say they do it better than your women is a problem. They don't do it to them, but they won't bring that out, and they will not allow you to do that to their women.
I said what I said. Herb and 2, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Chicago famous with Mike Love and Diz.
The destined legend himself, Leon Rogers.
Yeah.
What's going on, Playboy?
Man, listen, honored to be here with radio legends, man. Two brothers I looked up for and patterned my success.
You walked away from your day job
said, what?
and you went straight in the
Man, brother, first time somebody called me to do the gig, they was like, hey, I got my grandmama's 85-year-old birthday party. She's turning 85. She has a brain tumor. I mean, now she's not going to be able to hear because she's in a coma, but she'll be laying in the room, and we just want the good vibes. Well, what is it? $75. We need you to do an hour. I'm there because of the passion of wanting to do the comedy.
Yeah.
So I quit. But when you quit that job, and the job I had was decent. My father, every young black man should have a dad or a father figure in his life.
Yes.
When I say he went off on me.
My son works.
When I told him I quit to do comedy, my mom, mamas is always like, well, that's good, baby. You spread your wings. You realizing what God wants you to do.
Right,
and
right.
My father like, you got to be the dumbest son of a bitch in the world. I can't believe you came from my ball sack. $65,000 a year. Me and your mama combined only make 80. You dumb mother. I mean, going off. Like, me and my pops actually kind of fell out.
Old school black fathers, old school mindset. They came up working. They know how hard it is.
His knuckles black. Hands look like he worked at the steel mill, like he was dipping them in the lava. So, he pissed. My hands manicured.
He's super cool and he know kung fu.
I'm clean. I work on computers.
Drives a $5,000 car and wears a $100 suit.
Right.
He like, I'm out here getting lung poisoning from inhaling all these steel mill fumes and touching people's mail. I'm like, look at my hands. I can't even pick up a fork and knife. Your mama got to cut my food for me. And you want to quit to do some damn comedy. He hell.
Chicago famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
We fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, you already know.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh, my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
WIIFTDPN.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that. I know you just said that. That's what I just said. That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Toussaint Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Great afternoon to you wonderful, wonderful people. Including these two wonderful brothers I'm in the studio with, Maze and Tucson in here clowning. This is I Said What I Said. We are live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. Thank you all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything that you want to add to the conversation, feel free to leave your comments. We will read through as many of them as possible as we go through the show. Again, this is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Tucson Warner. Each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we get together right here and talk about issues that are impacting the black community, how those things are impacting us as individuals, and also how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we try and talk through many of these issues in hopes of finding the best solutions for overcoming these issues. Again, overcoming them as individuals, but more importantly, overcoming them as a collective. This is intellectual thuggery at its finest. We think this is the blackest conversation in America. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. We kindly ask you, please, please, please take a quick second to share the conversation. Please share the conversation. Share it on your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Anyone that you think would either add value to or find value in this particular conversation, we welcome them to be a part of the discussion. Again, this is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb. His name is Tu. What's happening, good brother?
What's up, family? How you?
Ain't nothing to it, man. I missed you on Friday, good brother. How was?
You missed me, Negro. You was all in here with Nona and the twins and having the ball.
I'm leaving.
Nona and the twins.
I'm leaving. Listen, I must say that the scenery in your seat was better than usual.
Yeah, he was manipulating cameras and everything. Getting his super hot boy Herb on. I saw.
Listen, man, I was being very professional and just hosting the show as I always do. But it was nice scenery for sure.
So,
but how was the trip getting down there? How was Eric? How are things?
Man, it was beautiful, man. As we talked about last week, I sent my son down to Arizona for high school
to go to the league.
Hopefully, right?
Let's be for
D1.
real.
Let's go that right. Top 10, top 5 college or something like that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was a different experience, bro. Like I've been to Arizona a bunch of times. It's not like one of my most favorite places in the world. Arizona is like a white haven. You understand? It's a bastion of whiteness.
A lot of people moving. A lot of people moving down there from the city though. I got like 15 friends that live in Arizona now. That's from here.
Yeah, well they're white now. So, but my point is, at the end of the day though, man, when I was looking at what it really had me thinking, man, is like we talk a lot about being American descendants of slavery, and when you think about that, Chicago is kind of the capital or the mecca of Black America in that sense, because Chicago houses more ADOS members than any other city in America. And when you start thinking about that, I start thinking about systemically how like failure is just ingrained in our experience.
Right.
I go down to this high school, I don't even think I got the words to explain like the difference. You know what I mean? Like the facilities, the equipment, the experience, the opportunities. Like the high school was more equipped for athletics than my college was. It was inconceivable, man. So in regards to that, like we got off the plane Friday. He hit the ground running.
Right.
Had a practice day one.
Right.
And immediately I'm recognizing differences.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily what they're doing or trying to what the skills or the drills that they're doing, but just the tools that they have to implement these.
Yeah, I saw some of the stuff, man. I saw them using like all kind of resistance bands and all kind of stuff.
Resistance bands. They got a Vertimax machine. The Vertimax is I've researched this Vertimax, so I've seen them between like $10,000 and $15,000. This is just something to help you jump higher. You know what I mean? So I was looking at that and I was like, man, if he takes advantage of this opportunity, hands down, he does have an opportunity to play at least college ball, and that's my goal.
Oh, absolutely.
To get him to college for free, because grammar school and high school is costing me money. Okay. So essentially, with all the investments I've made already, I've already paid for college, but now that I've made those investments, I don't want to keep paying. Sure. So the opportunity is definitely there. I just hope he takes advantage of it.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. Listen, I think that he absolutely has a lot of God-given ability. Right, he can play the game at a high level, and I think that putting him in an environment where he can actually hone those skills, like really, prepare himself to be a college athlete, I think is a really, really good thing. And to be in a program to where they are heavily invested in the in the futures of their student athletes and getting them to that next level, I think is good, man. So there's a lot of things that are going to be available to him. I think he's going to play basketball at a really, really high level in terms of like high school, in terms of competing nationally with other top programs. I think it's super, super dope, man.
But it's culture shock too, though, right?
Of course.
He has to adjust too, right? I am his daddy. You know what I mean? So being in the white bastion and coming from my household is like leaving. Where Prince Akeem from? Where was he from in the movie? The Zamunda. It's like leaving Zamunda, going to
right
Arizona.
Right.
It's culture shock. Like,
That's
when
different.
you think about it, everywhere you go, you see these signs: Trump Pence, right? I guess
Sure.
being in Chicago and just kind of being black, you just don't see that. You know what I mean? So I was trying to explain to him, like, man, no matter what the situation is, no matter how comfortable they allow you to feel,
Sure.
I want you to pay attention, right? So
Sure.
when you see these Trump Pence signs, and just so everybody knows, I don't have a dog in this fight in regards to this election because I think they both white
Right.
supremacists in my personal opinion.
Right.
But there's a different energy attached to Trump and Trump support.
Absolutely.
Right? So I was
Absolutely.
like, you see this is the energy of this community. I don't give a shit what happened.
Right.
Right? The girls gonna like you, that's part of this,
Yeah.
right? They gonna be throwing you action, that's part of this. But don't you ever confuse what this is.
Right.
Right. If you see these signs here, that's attached to that energy. Don't fool yourself. So
Yeah.
treat it like chess and always think 2-3 moves ahead.
Yeah, no, I think it's important that he fully understands the environment that he's in. I think that it's important for him to know that you can't really move the same way you can move in Chicago. It's you're in a different environment. But I think he'll handle that well. I think he will harken back to all the things that you've instilled in him over the years. And I think he'll do very, very well down there. I really, really do. What was it like for you all, just in terms of getting down there, getting them set up, and then having to say goodbye?
Expensive, goddamn it. That's what it was like. Nah, but for me, it was all good, man. It was an easy transition, right? So first of all, there's like 4 other kids from Chicago that came down there that all got recruited to come play down there.
That's good.
Now they're all seniors though, so they one and done, and their whole goal is to get to college from the situations they was in, and they come from top tier high schools here.
Sure.
One was a Morgan Park boy, and the other 2 were Kenwood boys.
Kenwood got a whip now too.
Kenwood got a super.
They got
whip
a
right
brick over there right now.
Yes, they do. But regardless of their whip, and this is kind of what the experience taught me, right? Regardless of their whip, there's a strategy set up for these boys to go to school.
Sure.
In Chicago, it's a fight.
Sure.
And it's a difference when you think about it like that. So when I started looking at the other top tier players, because he played in the showcase Sunday, and it was the top 250 Arizona players. So that's, from freshman year to senior year. When I looked at that top 250, I could have took 5 boys off any playground in the city of Chicago that would beat all them. You know what I mean? But the landscape is laid out for them to reach their goals. And I made a joke to Mays when he's coming in the door. I was like, man, life is just different for white folks. And it really just is. Life is just different. It's set up for them to win. And that goes back to my statement about us just being in Chicago, the ADOS capital.
Right.
In a lot of ways, man, the system is set up for us to fail. And you can see this shit, like, visually just being in these other places. Specifically when you start to get ingrained into the culture of those other places.
Sure.
Right? To go through on some travel, vacay, quick hit, eating the food and chilling and shit is different.
Yeah.
But when you start to engage in their school systems, when you start to engage in how they get employed, when you start to engage in knowing these people, it's really just set up for you to at least make it through life in a comfortable way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And granted, I'm blessed and happy that my son has the opportunity, but it's sad when you recognize how many other people don't.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shit, think about COVID, right? Somebody in the comments just said a minute ago, like, think about the impact COVID is gonna have on sports scholarships going forward, specifically from low-income situations or people who live in, urban areas. You're not really getting on the court. You're really not getting seen. The scouts are not coming. Even to put in perspective, like one of the things that happened in the Arizona thing, because I'm not there, I was like, man, I wish I really could see the games. So one of the coaches tells me, he's like, no, man, because of COVID, they've equipped every Arizona high school with an entire digital film setup. So you can stream every game. You know what I mean?
That's different.
So just think about the money that costs. That's not happening here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not for the parent. It might be quote unquote for the parent, but it's also for the recruiters. It's also
That's
for
what
the
it's about.
schools. It's for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not gonna miss no opportunity. Where situations like here specific, like I was thinking about the school he's at, it's not no super special school down there. Right? But you think of the top tier schools here, the Paytons, the Whitney Youngs, could not compare. could not compare. And you think about how many people are vying to be in those Paytons, are vying to be in those Whitney Youngs. Just open enrollment. You want to come in, you can come in. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the amenities are just immense. It's unbelievable. G.
For me, I think that's what this entire like Black liberation movement is about for me, right? It's about, you know, you have these conversations with people and they'll say, oh, you know, if you do the right things, if you're on the right track, if you know, on the straight and narrow, then you can be just fine in America as a Black person. You got to do the right things, don't make bad decisions, yada 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 yada. They kind of negate the idea of this being in a huge minefield that we gotta kind of navigate. And sure, you can get through it, right? But you need a lot of help, you need a lot of luck, you need a lot of support to be able to get through it as a Black person in this country. And for me, it's about not finding ways to help a couple of people squeeze through and come out on the other side, but about opening it up for everybody to have that opportunity to reach their fullest potential. And I think that, you know, you have these situations where, you know, you look at, you know, Eric having this opportunity, and that's great, right? But like you said, there's so many other young people who do not have those opportunities. And I think that that's what the work has to be about. It has to be about getting to a space where all of our young people have the opportunity to really reach their fullest potential. And I think for me, that's really what this whole thing is about.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So, you know, like I said, you know, I'm grateful and thankful that I was in a position to make this happen for him. You know, I'm grateful and thankful that I had the relationships I have. I was grateful and thankful that I got the network that I got. Even
the black-white ratio, DS, is Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona said, what's the black-white ratio at the school? It's Arizona.
It's ridiculous. It's probably like 3% or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but even, I'm going to be real with you, 3% was higher than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Thought he's going to be down there. Him and the other two dudes that came from down
He
here.
beige, so he might be able to blend in, but... Hey, 3% was way more than I expected.
Eric is light skinned. You might have a white grandson.
No. Eric is not going. So he made it abundantly clear. He said, "Daddy, hey, I'm good. That ain't my thing."
Straight off that,
off the rip.
Okay,
he said that.
Okay,
right.
Hey, this white girl slick, bro. They gonna catch you.
Right? I was like, you don't like them, but you like Jordans, so you could be bought.
Hey, this is America. Everything is for sale.
Everything's for sale.
Everything is for sale. Hey, that's funny, man. I think. Plus, I mean, that's the environment, right? So eventually, you know, some of these people are gonna start to look good to them. Like it just is what it is. Like you know, I don't want to make that comparison per se, but you know, you get the people in prison, and 15 years later,
yeah, let's not make that comparison. I don't like that comparison at all. Let's not make that comparison.
Why do you act like that? Why do you?
That's not a good comparison at all. That's not a good comparison. No, that doesn't work at all. You know what I mean?
Point is, he'll adapt to his environment. And,
yeah, God willing, he's gonna be good, man. You know,
Becky gonna be coming to Chicago for Thanksgiving.
No, that's not gonna happen. I don't know where they're gonna be staying at. If she does, it's not at my house. Ain't none of that. I don't go. I'm not going.
How did mom handle it? Goodbye.
Oh, she was distraught. G, she crying every 5 minutes, making the trip horrible. You know what I'm saying? No, but you know, it's a mother-son moment. You know what I mean? She was breaking down that what was funny though. I ain't gonna lie, my daughter's with me. So my daughter's like, again? Oh, shut up.
Bella is a gangster. She is a gangster. I was gonna ask how she handled it, but
she could care less.
Let's
ride. I get his
Deuces,
room,
bro.
Yeah, right. I get his room. We good. We good. Let's make it happen. We out of here.
Peace out, man. Shout out to Eric, man. He gonna do his thing down there, bro. You know, we make sure he got what he needs, and you know, help him through any stumbles that are bound to happen, whether he's here or there or whatever. He'll be all right, though, man. That's what's up. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, I believe in him, man. So hopefully it's going to be good money.
I applaud and commend y'all for making that decision. It's not an easy decision to make to send him down there. But it's the best thing for me. So y'all went with that, man. Good job.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I think he'll do well. Again, like I said, the only real concern I got is what somebody in the comments said, the beckery. That is a concern. I'm not going to lie.
Beckery.
The beckery is a concern. And that
that
Trump Pence signage, I'm not gonna lie, it was so abundant it made me kind of question, like, wait a minute, man. It's one thing to know that exists in the world, but it's another thing to let him be down there kind of fending for himself without me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, that's a little different. But I'm gonna be down there all the time though, just because he's down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's gonna work. It's gonna be dope, man. Looking forward to his evolution in that process, man. I had a pretty good weekend. I was just kind of really just chilling out. My man had a little gathering at his crib in Hyde Park yesterday, so we went through there and hung out for a while. And then my friend Taylor's, who owns Taylor's Tacos, I keep telling y'all got to get with Taylor's Tacos. They had like a crab boil, went over there and hung out and woke up there this morning. like probably it just wasn't a good idea to drive home after that. So woke up there this morning, then went to the crib and all that. So pretty good, man. But I did miss you here on Friday. That's for real, man. The show ain't quite the same when you are not.
I
here.
watched you and Nona and the twins. You had a full studio.
Nona and the twins. You had a full studio.
It was going down. You know what I mean? I saw you shooting from the 3. I saw you.
I was chilling, bro.
I watched as much as I could.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you in the comments. I knew you was there, but man, I was chilling. I wasn't on nothing. Nona's cool, but you know, nothing like that.
Okay, well, bless your heart.
Bless
your heart. Bless your heart.
Moving right along. Today we got a couple things we want to get into. The FBI foiled a plot to have the governor of Michigan kidnapped, right? A bunch of white supremacists, extremist dudes had a plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan. And the FBI found out about it, arrested these dudes. They've been charged with this plot to kidnap her. The sheriff of the county in which this was happening in, which they were arrested in, came out and vehemently defended these alleged kidnappers, right? And it's crazy, right? So we're gonna play that video for you guys, so you guys can just see how hard people go. Like, he went so far out of his way to try and defend these dudes because he's been seen at many of these rallies with these dudes. Now he said, "Oh, I was in there as in a professional capacity, and the sheriff office has to be there, yada yada yada." But he on stage right with him, and he's standing next to these dudes, and so now he's talking. Oh, I never knew there was something. They were anything like that, but I thought it was really, really interesting to see how hard he went to defend them. So we're going to play that video for you. Also, another one of their people, extremists, right, for these white supremacists,
people.
got his goofy ass murked. Nona and the twins. Look what you done started. Look at Cassandra. Look at Cassandra. Cassandra, that's hilarious.
Shout out to Nona though. I like Nona, man.
No, Nona is dope. We'll get into that.
Hey man, we was gone, and we do Relationship Fridays, but I do want to at least spend a couple minutes on this vice president debate. Gee, that I was just distraught after watching that shit. Well, I wasn't distraught, but I have an interesting perspective.
All right, so we're gonna get into Tu's perspective on the vice presidential debate. Also, I was about to say that another one of those white supremacist dudes, he got his ass murked. Okay, he got his goofy ass killed for being a racist asshole. Right? He was popping shit to some black dude, and then he started attacking a security guard for the news media that were there. And he slapped the dude upside his head. He maced the dude in his face. The dude put out his gun, shot his dumb ass dead in the street.
Yeah, but they was reporting it was a black dude that shot him at a BLM rally. It wasn't. It was a white security officer, right? Yeah. But that's kind of the.
But if the video didn't come out, it would have been a black dude.
That's the narrative. They trying to kick it off. G. It's getting interesting.
It is. It's underway.
Gun up. Get you some ammo.
It is.
Learn how to grow some food, man.
You need to go.
Get different.
Make sure you holler at instructor Mike Brown. Holler at Trigger Mike. He'll get you together. Make sure that you
Mike
are prepared.
Brown with the guns and Ramey Brown with the food. Learn how to grow some food from Ramey Brown. Learn how to shoot with some Mike Brown.
No, that's real. That's real. That's what we got to be moving to. We got to be able to defend ourselves. We got to be able to feed ourselves. We got to be able to do everything self-sufficiently. And so you got to be prepared for it, because they certainly are prepared. And so, you know, it's not I don't like guns. Whatever, right? It's a necessity at this point, right? Everybody else is armed and ready, and you know, when it gets there, you want to be prepared. And so, you want any training at all, you want to talk to Mike Brown, take his course. He will make sure that you are extremely familiar with the weapon, how to use it, when to use it, when not to use it. Mike Brown is all things firearms expert. So. Holler him on that piece for real.
Oh, so I know we're going to break in a minute.
Yeah, we gotta go break in a minute.
So I know we're going to break, but I'm gonna steal some Gino terminology. Smash that like button. Smash that star button.
Shout out to Gino, man.
Yeah, shout out to the bigs, man. I've been watching
on
this
the
show lately.
soil.
It's cracking, man. They got a lot of good interviews coming through. I don't even like baseball, but they've been talking to a lot of baseball players that got me learning baseball around here.
They be on it, man. They be talking to the baseball players, whether it's Tim Anderson or Jason Hayward or even Theo Epstein, the GM of the Cubs, like the VP of the Cubs. Like they I mean the president, not the vice president, the president of the Cubs. They be on it, man. They be on it. So shout out to the bigs on the soil. I'm trying to get on the soil, man. I'm trying to let them I want them to let me come on the soil one time and talk Bears, because my Bears is handling business out here. I told Gino they was gonna win, and Gino was like, "Nah, they not." Yes, they are.
You know, the ghost of Walter Payton always shows up early in the season for the Bears.
The ghost
You know
of
what I
Walter
mean?
Payton. They talked to Jerry Payton too on the soil.
They better keep talking to everybody who's attached to the Payton family so they can get wins. Otherwise, it's over because it's all luck.
Luck. They say when you play with skills, good luck can happen. We are certainly playing with skills right here at What's in It for the Black People Media. This is I Said What I Said. His name is Tucson Warner. My name is Herb Howard. We are just getting underway. We'll be right back after this.
WIIFTBPN.
I was going to ask you, so, growing up, did you ever have an old racist family in your neighborhood? Did you have one live next to you or one down the street? Just somebody's house that you know on the block you didn't want to go nowhere near that house? The neighbor who was directly behind us had a real problem coming outside seeing my white mother and my black father.
We got us the gun line.
This dude built an 8-foot fence, more like 10 foot.
So they put up the Huck Finn joint.
Exactly. That shit looked like a castle. You know, my dad, he's a big guy, football player guy. My dad guy who walks over there.
Old school
and then
black.
he's like, yo, I don't appreciate these apples in my yard. He's like, motherfucker, we don't even have an apple tree. These are your apples.
Do you like apples?
Your kids are throwing apples over here. Okay, there's that little space, but there's still a fence. So they're right there looking at each other.
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
And I said something like, yeah, Dad. And that dude said, shut up, you little monkey. Leroy stuck his hand over the fence. You're gonna die, clown! Grabbed dude by the neck.
Run.
And proceeded to pull him halfway over this fence. Like, finish him. Mrs. Wheeler comes running out. Oh, Leroy, don't do that. It's not worth it. Blah, blah, blah. My dad was getting ready to kill this dude. And within 6 months, that guy moved away.
Don't cross the gun line, boss.
Right, the gun line, boss.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIIFTBPN. WIIFTBPN.
And we are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said, intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Tucson Warner. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. What's happening?
Real quick, we talked about them whack ass Bears.
Come on, man.
We gotta
They're
acknowledge
4-1.
We gotta acknowledge all the whackness that's going on. You know, the Lakers won the championship last night, so we gotta
they beat
acknowledge
the fuck out them boys.
Whack ass Bron for winning the championship.
Whack ass
what I mean?
Bron.
Yeah, Bron's whack as shit. I don't. You know, people always talk about you got to respect Bron outside of the circle of basketball because of the shit that he does in the community and all that type of shit. I got a different take on that. I really do.
And what is that take?
And I think that's kind of it's the same Jay-Z take. It's the same take on all these kind of multi-faceted, very visual public figures.
Sure.
Like we talk about Bron in regards to like the school he's built or what he's done around activism, but when the shit hits the fan, Bron runs the other way. And I don't like that. So, and not only does he run the other way, but a lot of shit that he does, like, think about this. Jalen Rose has had a school for the past umpteen years.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that shit.
No.
100% graduation rate, 100% goes to college, but it's also 100% self-funded. He goes and gets the money himself. Bron's school is sponsored by Nike. Most of the shit that Bron does is sponsored by Nike. And Nike approaches activism like they approached it with
it's business.
Cap. It's business, right? Yeah, they'll talk this Black Lives Matter shit, but they're gonna dump money into the Republican Party too as well. They playing both sides because this shit is just business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ain't about shit.
Everything's good for business.
Ain't about right.
It
It's
ain't
about
based
money.
in no morality. It's just how we gonna make money on both ends. Double bubbling their ass is some street terminology.
Yeah,
shit, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
What the dude was a stringer in the wire? He's like, when the dope good, it sell better.
Yeah.
I mean, when the
No, he
dope
said-
bad,
right, he
it
said-
sell better.
right.
It's all strategy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in regards to like, I don't move in that lane of Bron should get this special treatment because of the shit he do in the community. I don't necessarily feel that way about this shit. I just think it's good business.
I commend LeBron for his efforts in the community. I commend the stance that he generally takes about the things he does off the court being more important to him and his legacy than the things he does on the court.
I disagree.
With what?
I don't think that's more important than his legacy on the court.
That's what he said. I don't.
Yeah, what the fuck out? Get out of here. Bro.
I don't.
That's why your ass pick every team you play for. Get the fuck out of here, Brian. You're lying,
bro. I think that like they can. It's not mutually exclusive. Like they can be different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he could be doing all the things he needs to do for his basketball legacy and be doing all these other things, and that those other things be more important to him.
Yeah, I don't agree though.
Okay, cool. I don't know, but either way, that's the stance that he takes on it, and I applaud him for the work that he does. I applaud him for the stances that he takes.
Shout out to them bums for fucking winning. All the Chicago players that played in the finals, I really support that shit because it was a whole Simeon was on the floor heavy.
Kendrick Nunn and who else?
Kendrick Nunn. You got AD. You got
AD.
Talon from with the Lakers. He just graduated Simeon like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I think it's one other. I can't think of the other guy. It's one other guy.
Shout out to the crib.
Yeah, the crib was heavy in there, so I support that. I salute that. You know what I mean? And I salute AD getting one because I rock with AD.
Yeah, AD needed one, man. LeBron is like 4-10 in the finals. I mean, 4 out of 10. Like,
but he get there. He been there 10 times.
He's been in the finals 10 times.
Can't knock that.
He's played like 50-something NBA finals games. It's absolutely crazy. And whatever team he's on is going to the finals. Period.
But also, you can't knock that. But you also can't knock that he's also partnered up with greatness to get there. The only real ones that he's ever really gotten by himself is Cleveland.
Yeah, he took that weak ass Cleveland team to the finals early in his career.
But that D Wade conversation, D Wade is legitimately the top 3 two guard to ever play the game.
D Wade is the third best two guard to ever play the game.
Ever to play the game. AD is moving consistently right now to be one of the top 4 or 5 kind of guys to ever play the game. So when people like he did. Brian, you know, people compare like Mike and Scotty. I rock with Scotty. Don't get it twisted. But Mike built Scotty.
True. And they were drafted there. I mean, Scotty actually got drafted by like Seattle and then traded on draft day. But they were drafted to the Bulls, right? So it ain't like they went partnered up after he knew Scotty was cold as fuck. Scotty came in $165 soaking wet. And a pussy.
And a straight sissy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? like straight getting abused out there.
Like Mike had to cowardly lion him. He had to put some heart in that man.
Yeah, he had to grow him up. It's part of the game.
So you know that's not. That's
but anyway, either way, salute to the Buzz for winning the championship, man. Because you know, Randy Spann was sending me inboxes and shit. Because you know everybody know I hate Brian.
Yeah.
Let me not say I hate Brian. I just dislike Brian.
I just dislike Brian.
I really did. He's a crap baby.
I like LeBron, man. I'm not one of those LeBron fans. I don't really give a shit like that. But I think his greatness is undeniable.
He
on
disrespects
the
sport.
How? Just
because he's a girl. Yeah, he's sensitive.
See, that's
man up.
That's why they be on your ass, bro.
Whatever, man.
What you mean he a girl?
I mean he's a girl. I ain't started. Man up.
I said what I said. Anyway, moving right along. Shout out to hey, did you see Dak Prescott, the quarterback from the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah,
snapped his foot. Oh my goodness! I was watching.
And he just got that big contract, didn't he?
So he didn't get the big contract.
He
That's
didn't
the thing.
get it.
He was trying. So they were negotiating for the contract. They never gave him the long-term deal.
They're about to shit on him.
Signing the franchise tag, which pays him like $32 million this year. But you compare that to what he was due to get long, like he was like $250 or $300, some shit like that.
They about to shit on that man.
Patrick Mahomes got $450 from the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? For 10 years now, but $450 though. So Dak was due to get, $200, $250 or something. So you lose that $250 and leave with $32. And now that your foot goes that way,
it's over.
They not finna give you $250.
They never finna give you that bread.
Jerry Jones is in that booth like, yes.
Jamal Man used to work for the Bears. Jamal Man used to work for the Bears. He was a staff photographer for the Bears for like a year or some shit. Didn't make no money. You'd think you'd make some money. That shit was like minimum wage. But he used to tell me like, man, he said the whole NFL is old white used car salesmen.
Facts.
They ain't giving you shit. It's over. It's over, G. That's sad.
Man.
I thought he got the contract. I didn't know he didn't get it.
I was watching the game when he did it, and he went down and he went to just kind of he lifted his leg up and he just points to the sideline like, y'all come here, like come get me, like this ain't my foot is going that way. That's not okay. I felt so bad for him, man. So bad for him.
Take that 32 and invest it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take that 32 and buy some property on.
Yeah. that shit was terrible, man. So shout out to Dak Prescott, man. Speedy recovery to you, good brother. Told y'all you know what else I want to say, man? I said what I said. The I said what I said family is so dope, man. But what's happening in like this quarantine and all these like live broadcasts and stuff like that, it's creating like family members that you don't like know. Like I feel like we super tight, but I don't know. So like Beulah, that's often tuning in to I Say What I Say. I don't know if she's here today or not. I ain't been in the comments, but We've been hanging out all quarantine, right? And Jay Illa, the DJ, he do lives. He it's called shit. How am I forgetting what the fuck he calls it? The Get Busy. I'm sorry. He does the Get Busy, and he just go live and play music, and it's really like turned into like this family thing, right? Where we would really just be in there every Saturday night, and all of us same people, you know, just in there commenting and whatever, rocking. She's one of the people that be in the room all the time, right? But I know her Instagram handle, but I didn't realize that she was the same person until I saw her post a happy birthday to Jay Illa, both on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm like, oh shit. So I saw her in the comments, maybe on Book of Dawn or May Show or something. I was like, yo, I ain't make that connection to it right now, but
the gift
like,
and
I'm
the curse of
H2ENT
social
on
media.
Instagram. She's like, oh shit, like, so yeah, I love it, man. So I love the family.
On
dynamic.
that same note, though, G's, real talk. I've been in Arizona. Motherfucker was talking to me like, man, I know I've been defending the show.
That's what's up.
That's crazy.
That's
G.
bananas.
That's crazy.
That's bananas, man. So appreciate y'all so much for continuing to help the show grow and continue to support it, continue to be a part of it. In that vein, please share it. If you have not already done so, please take a quick moment to share the conversation on your page. Also, if you want to contribute to the show, you can do that as well by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We certainly appreciate each and every one of those. Told you all that the sheriff in the county, I should have wrote the name of the county down. I'm sorry, I did not. But in Michigan, where they had the plot to kidnap the governor, the FBI forwarded that plot, arrested these guys. The sheriff of that county came out, and I'll let y'all hear it, how he went out of his way to kind of support, defend,
and justify this
white shit. Exactly. That is exactly what it is. So we're gonna play that video for y'all right now. Hit the sound on it too.
I'm trying. I got it going.
I don't hear it.
And it's not working. So this is what Sonya said was going to work. Let me see if I can take this out.
Okay, we'll figure that out. And
No, you need it. Is the volume up on the video?
Yeah. Is the volume up on the thing?
Yep. So that's not working.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out later.
Turn what up, man? That's what we're trying to figure out. Come help us, please. Help us, boss.
We got it going on my computer right now. It's plugged into my computer.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out during the break.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out during the break.
We'll figure that out on the break and get it set up. Sorry about that, y'all. But
the beauties of live radio.
Yeah.
Or live video.
It's crazy.
Live podcast.
Like it's crazy to hear law enforcement, top cop in this county, right, come out and defend these people who have just been arrested and indicted and arrested for kidnapping the governor. They had a plan to kidnap the governor, such a real plan that the FBI had to stop it. And then this dude come out, and when we get the video, when y'all hear the video, it's the way he goes out of his way to defend these people is crazy.
So I always bring this up, man. When Mike Brown got killed, so it was Trayvon Martin first, kind of like sparked this new kind of uproar, this new kind of energy, right? And when Mike Brown got killed right after it, I was amazed at how hard Ferguson police were going to save Darren Wilson.
Absolutely.
Right? So I was like, man, is he related to
You thought it was about him?
Politically, who's his parent? Something had to be. I couldn't believe they was going so hard. And I only say that because Ferguson was really going up.
Yeah.
Right?
Cracking.
And Ferguson ain't but 3 blocks long.
Right.
But if you saw the real footage of that, it was black people walking around Ferguson with guns and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And from a strategic level, I was like, they're going to send him to jail just to shut this shit up. Right? We don't need these kind of conflicts. He's a $30,000 a year white police officer in this little small ass town.
Don't matter.
It just made more sense from a strategic level to give
Just
his
throw
ass
him to the wolves.
game.
Be like, done. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, that's to the game. You get him to the game.
Right.
And when they didn't give him to the game, and think about how long ago.
Oh yeah.
That was. And I had a conversation, but I don't know who I was talking to, but I was like, oh, we fucked.
Yeah.
Because they're not expending anybody.
Because it ain't about the individual. It's about the collective.
It's about the collective.
You are attacking whiteness. You ain't fuck Darren Wilson.
Fuck Darren Wilson.
You are attacking whiteness, and what we won't allow you to do is attack whiteness. He's white, so I'm keeping him.
Can you whoop my ass?
Nah, on South Central, Loco, the motherfucker, the Sherm head that was in prison.
It is what it
and
is.
OG Bob Johnson's like, nah, I'm keeping him. Like he was all Shermed out, he was crazy. I'm keeping him. So what? He mine. He deuce.
Yeah, but
Period.
that you know that is that can you with my ass point right.
It is.
Now it's like can you beat me? Because otherwise the rules didn't change. Fair don't mean shit. Equity don't mean shit.
Hell no.
You know it just is. That's not real. And they're making it. It's never been real. But they've always played behind the cloak of illusion.
Right.
At least in my lifetime, they've played by the cloak of illusion.
Sure.
Right? Generations past before us, they didn't play behind the cloak of illusion then either.
And they get
You
into
a
a
nigga,
space
you a
now
slave,
where
I beat your ass, I
Yeah.
kill you're vulnerable, all that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that this is the process of reverting back.
Yeah. It
Because
is.
they're not the illusion don't matter no more.
It is. It doesn't.
It just doesn't
Because
matter.
what the fuck you gonna do about it?
What you gonna fucking do about
Right.
it?
That's real. That's the question your pops asked, right?
That's
Your,
the question.
your pops say everything comes down to that. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? I told that story one time, man. I tell it to the audience. I was telling Herb a long time ago, and it's really just about some man shit that happened in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
Like my old lady was pregnant with my first child. Shit wasn't going right in our house. Shit wasn't going right with my money. Shit was just not going right. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My father was like the oracle.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I just couldn't take this shit no more. And I called my man, like, man, Dad, I'm breaking down like this shit, this, that, and the third. And as a man, like I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make that call.
It's hard to call.
But then to make that call, I wanted him to be able to tell me something that was gonna guide me on the
Do
right
this, do
path.
that, do this,
right?
Want the whole roadmap.
And after he listened to all this bullshit I gave him,
Listen, you pull your heart out.
yeah, I poured my heart out. This motherfucker looked at me and said, "What you gonna do?" Because at the moment I was like, "Man, motherfucker, that's all you got."
Right.
But as I grew and matured, though, I realized that that's the greatest advice you could give to anybody, because that's all that really matters.
That's all that matters. That's the essence of the whole thing. Like,
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Like
you
we can
gonna
sit here and talk about this shit all day. We can complain. We can yada yada. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? And what I'm saying is they're lifting the veil of illusion. All that shit is going away, right? We don't give a fuck. Like I just said down in Arizona, it's funny like to come from Chicago, and regardless of how I personally feel about this particular election, to see Trump pinch Trump, I'm talking about that shit was everywhere.
I'm sure.
I was in Oklahoma this
Everywhere.
weekend. Everywhere.
It was
It was
everywhere.
scary, guys.
Right? So you see how we see the Black Lives Matter or
Right.
Black Graffiti or
Right.
whatever it is.
Right.
None of that shit exists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In those places, this is how we rock.
You said last week though. We in 5 places in this.
We in
country.
5 places in
We,
this
you know
goddamn
what I'm saying?
country, man.
We in
confused
Chicago.
about how-
We in Atlanta. We in
Man.
Oakland. We in DC. We in Baltimore. Like
5 places,
Detroit.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't really nowhere, fam.
It's very
If
concentrated.
you outside of those places,
that shit ain't.
it's white than a
It's
motherfucker.
white
in
as
America.
Christmas, goddamn.
Okay.
Ain't nobody on it, none of that shit.
None at all. We gotta take a break. When we come back, we should be able to get this video up for you guys so you can see how hard they go for each other. This is I Said What I Said. Herb and 2 here with you to 3 o'clock. We'll be right back.
WIFTV PM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
You can expect the unexpected. We're getting pushed up to 200. Let's get these numbers up, people. Come on. We're trying to compete with Mays Jackson numbers, right? We
Don't forget,
we lacking right now.
If you share it,
share the video so we can get our numbers. For God's sake, we're nowhere near Mays Jackson numbers. If we can get you guys to share, we can at least push 200 in the next 3 minutes. All right? By 3:45, I want us to be at 200.
Oh, yeah.
This is the black
There's
portion
no
of what's
other
in it for
way
the black people radio
that we
right
can
here.
do the
This
time.
is the black portion, the blackest portion of the show.
It's what's in it for the black people media. Chicago famous. 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTV PM.
And we are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. His name is Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be here this afternoon. It means a whole lot to us that y'all have chosen to be a part of this conversation. Told you all before the break about the story about the alleged plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan. That plot, fortunately, was foiled by the FBI. They were charged and arrested. And then the sheriff of that particular county came out to defend the kidnappers. I'm going to try to play that video for you guys right now.
So I spoke with Barry County Sheriff Darleaf, who does say he knows these guys. He, quote, has never had lunch with them or anything like that, but has ran into them at some of these rallies. He said they've always been nice and respectful to him, adding they deserve a fair trial.
Michael and William Null were among the first charged Thursday for their alleged roles in the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The brothers from Plainwell and Shelbyville are now charged with providing support for terroristic acts, on top of weapons charges. Their West Michigan homes raided Wednesday night.
Was able to hear them say, FBI, have a warrant for your arrest. Come out with your hands up.
A neighbor of William Null spoke with Fox 17 under the condition of anonymity. They witnessed the raid and were shocked hearing what it was related to.
I had heard that there was a lot of militia people. Their right to do so, but to the extent that we just found out last night, totally surprised about that.
The Null brothers had ties to militia groups and were frequently seen at local demonstrations, including at this rally in protest of Governor Whitmer's stay-at-home order held last May in Grand Rapids. You can see William Null on stage alongside Barry County Sheriff Dar Leaf, a guest speaker at the event. We spoke with Sheriff Leaf Thursday night.
Well, I haven't read everything up on it. I've got other duties to do. It wasn't our investigation. So I was shocked. I did not see this coming with those guys, but still, we can't convict them in the news media here. They do have a right to a fair trial.
Leaf says he doesn't know of Null's alleged involvement in the plot and doesn't have any regrets about sharing a stage with him.
Do you have any regrets from being on stage, sharing a stage with a guy who's now being charged in a plot to kidnap the governor?
Well, it's just a charge, and they say a plot to kidnap. And you got to remember that, are they trying to kidnap? Because a lot of people are angry with the governor, and they want her arrested. So are they trying to arrest, or was it a kidnap attempt? Because you can still, in Michigan, if it's a felony, you can make a felony arrest. And I think it's MCL 764.4 or something like that, 5, somewhere on there. Yes. And it doesn't say if you're an elected office that you're exempt from that arrest. So I have to look at it from that angle. And I'm hoping that's more what it is. In fact, these guys are innocent until proven guilty, so I'm not even sure if they had any part of it.
So I spoke with Barry County Sheriff Dar Leaf, who does say he knows these guys. He, quote, has never had lunch with them or anything like that, but has ran into them at some of these rallies. He said they've always been nice and respectful to him, adding they deserve a fair trial.
Michael and William Null were among the first charged.
That is absolutely bananas, bro. That's absolutely bananas.
It's crazy. They're going to protect whiteness at all costs, though, man. And I think there's lessons to be learned there for ourselves. You know what I mean? Therein lies the importance of identity, man. That's why, for me, that ADOS movement is so important. That's why we always had that conversation, because legitimately, I think Herb made the right statement when he said it's not about the individual move, it's about the collective. They're not protecting that governor. They're not protecting those specific instances. They're protecting whiteness. You know, when I talked about Darren Wilson, that was a protection of whiteness. Like, when you think about Ferguson, I'm going to keep going back to Ferguson, I would assume, and he was a very low-level police officer. He was new at the department. So the average police officer in Chicago starts off at like $70-something thousand. And this is Chicago, and that's a huge police department. Mm-hmm. But in them type of small towns, you're a $30,000 dude, right? That's it. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but you're not very important in the lexicon of all things going on in that town.
Right.
And when that town is getting burnt down and motherfuckers is walking down the street with AR-15s talking about they ready for civil war, it just makes sense to put that motherfucker in jail. Jason Van Dyke went to jail because the government of this city was afraid of what the fuck would happen next.
If he didn't. Right.
Now, they gave his ass a bullshit sentence, but they had to do something because they were afraid of what was going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
In Ferguson, they didn't have that fear. Fuck you.
Nah, fuck you. What you gonna do?
Do it.
Right.
Beat my ass
Right.
then.
Right.
Do it.
Right.
And that's what that's about. That's the collective. That's that protection of whiteness.
This motherfucker went so far to protect it, right? First of all, you on stage at the rally as a guest speaker. You weren't there, in any professional capacity to say, oh, we just had to be a police presence here. You speaking. You rah-rah this shit. Right. You were part of the pep rally of this shit.
Hey,
right?
my old man used to say if you energy of it. So I don't know how you separate of it. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
If somebody if somebody robbed the corner store and I'm in the car with their ass and they pull out, even if I know they did it, I'm part of that
Everybody
shit.
going.
Hey man, Barney Fife need to be locked the fuck up too then.
This man said that what if they were trying to make an arrest? Right? Maybe he's. First of all, it's just a charge.
A lot of people have problems with the governor.
First of all, it's just a charge. That's first of all. But second of all, do we really know if they were trying to kidnap her? A lot of people have a problem with the governor. And in Michigan, you can still make a citizen's arrest as long as it's a felony. And so maybe they were just trying to arrest her and not kidnap. Motherfucker, you the police. Somebody. Maybe they were trying to arrest her for what? The governor.
Yeah, ain't no rule.
The fucking governor, the highest elected official in this state. And here you are, the county sheriff. Talking about maybe they were trying to arrest her. Motherfucker, are you trying to arrest her? Then why should they be trying to arrest her?
Citizen's arrest.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you talking?
Everybody's mad at you.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how hard he's going to defend. Like that stuff is crazy, man. But it's real. And I think that, you'll see more of that shit.
So look, let's go right to this other clip though from Sean King's Instagram page though
So this is the governor of South Carolina giving a welcome statement to blacks and immigrants.
Lindsey Graham, this is Lindsey Graham, right? So, but also part of the conversation Lindsey Graham was about Tim Scott, also the South Carolina. What the fuck is Tim Scott's position in South Carolina? I forget what was it? I think Tim Scott is a senator in South Carolina.
Okay,
that's what he is. So Tim Scott is black though, and I don't know how the conversation got to where the Sean King post came up, but he was talking about how many times Tim Scott had been stopped by the police, and he was talking about the effects of law enforcement in South Carolina. But he moved into this conversation to where he got to this place, and we're just gonna play this clip because I think this shit is hilarious.
All right, cool.
You ready?
Yeah.
If you're a young African American, an immigrant, you can go anywhere in this state. You just need to be conservative, not liberal. I care about everybody. If you're a young African American, an immigrant, you can go anywhere in this state. You just need to be conservative, not liberal.
One more time. Just let it run one more time.
I care about everybody. If you're a young African American, an immigrant, you can go anywhere in this state. You just need to be conservative, not liberal. I care about everybody.
Caucasity of it all, right? But that's going back to the same conversation: protection of whiteness, right? So I talk. So this is one of the things that I've taken notice of, right? Racist and the very nature of the word race and racism has now been kind of taken over by Republican. Right, we've kind of disassociated the conversation between racist being this kind of all-out thing they can attach to a group of people. Now it's just specifically dedicated to the Republican Party. Like those are the only people that can be racist.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the collective, like you said, they're legitimately standing on theirs to protect whiteness. The caucasity of it is funny, but it legitimately is the caucasity, right? So when he gets on here and say, hey, man, you could be an immigrant, you could be black, you could be homosexual, you could believe whatever, as long as you align with the philosophies and theories of us racist.
Right.
Right? You can do whatever the fuck you want as long as you know your position. Yeah, as long as you know your position, you can do whatever you want. And that's kind of what's happening in the entirety of the lexicon. I sent you an article earlier this week, and I can't even remember the title of the shit. I'm gonna try to find it while we talking, but there was a conversation. We always had these conversations about how we see a lot of homosexuality in TV in regards to like black characters. We had that conversation over and over and over again. And the reason we had that conversation is because we have to acknowledge that there's a level of conditioning that takes place once something hits the television screen, right? So, and they call TV the idiot box. Yeah. And the reason they call TV the idiot box is because legitimately on television you can see when something shows you images and messages, it affects your brain in a certain kind of way. Right? If you read a book, the words will start to become images for you, right? Your mind starts to work in a certain kind of way. It makes it work, right? Or if you listen to the radio, the words start to form a picture, so your mind is actually working. But when you sit in front of the television, that's not happening.
No.
Because it's giving you the images you should see attached to the words you should see. So it's forcing thought, right? And there was this article about this group that works behind the scenes in TV to kind of dictate and change philosophy.
There are a lot of things that we as a black community could learn from the way other communities are moving in terms of ensuring that the best practices are implemented across this nation for their particular interests. That article was very, very interesting. When we come back, we're going to tell you what that article is and what they are trying to do and how effective they have been in their movement. This is I Said What I Said. His name is Tucson Warner. My name is Herb Howard. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed. Special thanks to Love McPherson.
And when you talk about object sex, you and objectifying that woman, you glorify pieces of her. And let me tell you something. If you think that doesn't matter, it does. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. I looked at a video and I was looking at these young boys, these teenagers, and they were like, do you like black women or white women? I like white women. I like white women. And first I felt some kind of way. Then you know what happened to me? I started listening to them and they said, why did you like the white women? Because they'll do anything for you. Yeah, the white hoes. Bitch, you is a hoe. Bitch, you is a hoe. And I thought pornography has elevated what the white woman will do for you, the objectifying of her. And this is why we don't realize, even in our spaces, the black man is shut down because he doesn't know the power of his seed like the white man knows the power of his seed. Oh, look, just like milk. He doesn't realize that you sit up there coming into my neighborhood, objectifying my white women because you say they do it better than your women is a problem. They don't do it to them, but they won't bring that out, and they will not allow you to do that to their women.
I Said What I Said, Herb and 2, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTBPM.
I like that right there. That's cool. That's kind of smooth right there. I feel that. Some soulful shit right there. This is I Said What I Said. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. Herb Howard, Tucson Warner here with you for another hour. Thank y'all so much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. That means a whole lot to us that you all are here. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. And if you haven't already done so, please take a quick moment to share the conversation. Just click the little share. Let some people know. We appreciate that. Also, if you want to contribute to the show, you can do so as well by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Before we went to break, you were referencing an article that you sent to me that was really interesting, right? And it was talking about the way that immigrants are portrayed in like Hollywood, so like movies and sitcoms and those types of things, and this movement that they kind of put together to say, hey, if y'all gonna portray us, this is how you need to go about doing it. Stop portraying us in these negative lights.
But also, like that's like half the story,
sure,
right? So the basic article is about this organization called Define America.
Right.
And what they are is consultants. They consult on media, right, and how to make effective media, right? And this effective media is leveraged to change laws, dictate policy, dictate thought, right? And they shape this story in a conversation around immigration. But when you read in-depthly into the article, you realize that they've consulted on 75% of the shows that are on television today. So has to be or has to span much larger than the immigration.
Right.
You know what I mean? But to the point I was making, like television is the idiot box because it legitimately shapes thought, right? And there's a quote in the article that says, I'm trying to find it. I thought I highlighted it, but obviously I didn't, all right? It says, Define America, through Define America's guidance, along with insights from immigration lawyers and even someone who worked with ICE, Help the writers to shape stories rooted in reality. Define American would bring in panels of undocumented immigrants into the writer's room, he said, speaking ideas for entire episodes with each conversation. It became this amazing resource for the U.S. Organizations like this are great. They can answer questions, but by just sitting around and talking, we come up with stories that never even dreamed before, he says. One example is an episode of the show, second season, where Mateo, who's a illegal immigrant character on some show, I don't know the name, desperate for a solution to his immigration woes, tries to get people in the store to assault him so he can be eligible for a visa for a crime of for some kind of victim. This is
like hate
basically
crime.
imitate the immigration lawyer shit. So I just thought it was interesting because if they're having this conversation around immigration and they want to shape a certain kind of thought around immigration,
They're having it around black people too.
they're having it around black people. They're having it around the LGBTQ community. They're having it around all these communities. And essentially, it's what we always talk about. It's like groupthink, right? The masses don't really think for themselves, and because we lack identity, we fall in line with whatever these new theories are. Right. So BLM comes out and becomes the standard for the black social movement, and then you start to get more in depth into the BLM movement, and you start to see that the rationale behind most of their policies are protections of women, and not the protection of the black woman, because we for that, but it's protection of women, the transgender community, the gay community. And even though Black Lives Matter was kind of launched on the backs of black male death, you're rarely mentioned or not mentioned at all in the conversation of the value set of Black Lives Matter, right? But it's like these popular umbrella narratives start to shape thought. You know what I mean? So there's this backlash if you black and you come out and say, man, I ain't really with that Black Lives Matter shit. And even if it's based in fact, it don't matter because the idea has already been shaped by this public consumption. Right. Kind of goes back into the debate, the VP debate I watched the other day. Again, I don't have a dog in this fight. Watched the debate, and from my standpoint, Pence won the debate. Right? He won the debate. Not that I have a dog in the fight. So I put that on my Facebook saying, I don't got a dog in this fight, but if I'm just looking at it from a unbiased point of view, I think Pence won the debate. So you get all these other commentary and all these other thought processes, and I'm cool with that because I'm open to thought, right? I'm open to the conversation. And everybody's coming in like, well, yeah, but he was just lying. And I'm thinking to myself, did y'all fucking hear Kamala Harris?
They all lying.
They did neither one of them motherfuckers answer a question, and when they did, they both was lying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But at least he did it in a way that was more assured of himself. And then again, back to understanding the game. So people come to the game after it's been popularized, or come to the story after it's been popularized. When her ass was in the primaries, be clear about Kamala Harris. She had a big ass bag. She had support. She had funding. She was the perfect candidate.
Right.
She couldn't fucking win a debate.
Right.
She's never been good at winning debates. She started losing steam in the primary. She couldn't win a fucking debate. Right? But this is how we start to rationalize this dumbass shit. But did you see them faces she was making?
Right.
Motherfucker, it's a debate. That a face making contest?
It doesn't. I didn't hear a single thing about. Hey, you hear this strong point Kamala made about economics. You hear this strong point Kamala Harris made about the black community. You hear this strong point Kamala made about anything. It was only about the way she looked at him for cutting her off. Or about
we start throwing words like auntie around and shit.
It was a fly on his head. He kept cutting her off.
But here's
all this anybody but Trump shit.
And here's my biggest problem, right? Even those of us who I know I informed at some level, right? You got some brothers hit me on the same Facebook post like, man, it's the VP debate. That shit don't really matter. And historically, truthfully, it don't. You know what I mean? The VP debate don't mean shit. But this is not the same. And the reason this is not the same because the Biden-Harris ticket is legitimately lying on the back of Harris, not Biden. Nobody's voting for Biden. Nobody voting for Biden. No, nobody fuck with. He's not sparking any kind of interest in him. He's 87 years old. The man can't remember his name half the goddamn time. Right. He's also terrible at debating.
He's not galvanizing
right?
voters.
So the only thing we have to push is, well, he ain't Trump.
That's it.
And the only thing that makes him he ain't Trump, because when you start to look at the record, he's the same white supremacist motherfucker that Trump is.
Period.
But the only thing that makes him appeal to our community is Kamala Harris. And when you get, again, it's hard to press to say that she ain't black, because she is black, but she's not black in the ADOS tradition. So you get backlash for saying that shit out loud. These are just facts, though.
Right.
right? Just the facts. But because we've been conditioned
Never
to
let
think
a small
one
thing
way,
like the truth get in the way.
like
of
you
winning an
say,
argument,
never
man.
let a small thing like the truth get in the way of winning the fucking argument. And it just speaks to the level of stupidity that we operate in, which is why we're going to need guns and ammo.
Yeah.
This is why, because we're going to we've already put ourselves into a position where ain't really much working for us at this point, right? So we talk about reparations all the time because legitimately, when you know the numbers, what the fuck else you got left? You ain't got nothing else left. One generation made some money. One.
It's interesting to me, though, just kind of going back to the article, that you have this entire group. The name of the organization, it's called Define America.
Ain't that a bitch?
Right? So it's like, so y'all talking about who's American, who ain't, and immigrants ain't this. Define American. What does that even mean, right? And so that's how they come in. Define American, number one. And then they go out and they set their interests and say, okay, listen, you can't portray us this way. You can't do these types of things. You can't do those types of things. Where's our representation in these spaces to say, hey, you can't make all black dudes in the movie thug, gangsters, killers, shooters, murderers,
or homosexuals? Oh, you said fags? Did you say fags? Herb said fags on the air.
First of all, I absolutely. First of all, so let me correct myself for apologizing, because I didn't mean to apologize. I said fags intentionally, right?
Okay.
Just when it hit my ear, I was like, oh, I don't really use that term, but I absolutely do. And here's where I use it, because I'm talking about the people that they're portraying on these TV shows, right? It's not homosexual men, right? These are fags that they're portraying. They got on dresses and they got high heels on, and there's a difference between being a homosexual man and a fag. I think
You've done some research. I don't know the difference. Hit me.
I just told you what the difference is, right?
That's the difference? Is that the difference? No, I ain't even being facetious at
I'm
this
serious.
point. Is that how their community defines the difference?
No, I'm defining this.
Okay. Yeah.
Define fact.
This is a herb. This is a herb fact.
Yeah, this is
This is a herb fact.
Look this up in the herb dictionary. That is how I use the term, right? And that's what they portray, right? But they don't do white homosexual men like that, right? They just gay white dudes, which is fine.
They
right?
still men,
right? And
at least in portrayal,
right? You know what I'm saying? They got button up shirts on. They dress like men. Everything they do.
They ain't wearing
like
high
men.
heels
right.
and spandex.
Nah, they ain't got all this makeup on and goofy shit
and a purse.
But if it's a black gay man, then he's like he all the way over there, right? He gotta want to be a woman. Like that's that bullshit. That's that bullshit. And so we need to have representation.
Define America, though, right? And that's kind of what I've been. Again, and it's not just in that arena though. It's in every arena, right? So what the young boys say, the ops ain't just fighting you from one perspective. The ops is going to use every skill and every tool that they have to defeat you, whatever that might be, right? Everybody's not coming through the front door.
Right.
Like when you start thinking about like the Civil War, these ancient Roman armies, or how they used to fight wars when they have 8,000 motherfuckers stand in front of each other, run at each other, and kill each other. That ain't how wars fought no more, right? That's the dumbest way to fight a war ever in the history of ever, right? But they leverage that as being honorable and gallant and all that shit. But that's not how war is won.
No.
War is deceit. War is corruption. War is confusion.
Propaganda.
War is all that shit. Propaganda. Like one of the things that the U.S. Army first does when they go to war in these other countries is they have propaganda campaigns. Right? So when you think about the civil unrest in Rwanda when it was the Hutus and the Tutsis, right? If you watch the Hotel Rwanda movie, and this is based on the truth of that situation, there was a radio host that kept putting fuel on that shit.
Yeah.
Putting fuel on that shit because it eggs on the energy. And that's the same thing that's happening right now. When we say there's a war on black men, there's a lot of backlash all the time. But you'd be a fool to think there's not been a war on black masculinity since we landed on this soil.
Period.
But what I'm saying is that we're seeing it ramped up in a different way. And the reason it's being ramped up is a different way. It's the same reason you got Barack Obama. It's also the same reason why you got Donald Trump. It's because the white populace in its essence is in a place of vulnerability. And they're in a place of vulnerability because children born after 2005 moved their ass out of the majority population seat.
Right.
So in a way to own or maintain power, they're changing the definition of whiteness in our face. That's why you start to see these commercials with these blended families, this white man and this black woman.
Yeah.
That's why you hear, if you paying attention to social media, you start seeing sisters pumping this idea, we should be dating white men. That ain't no fucking original thought, you idiot.
Right.
That's being pumped to you.
Right.
Right? Because you is traditionally the only motherfucker. Whiteness is an idea. It's not an ethnicity. It's an idea. Right? And anybody can fold into that shit once you, just like the Lindsey Graham said, you could be whatever the fuck you want, as long as you fall in line with what the fuck we do. That's the truth. Right? When the Italians got here, they wasn't white.
No.
Until they fall in line. When the Irish got here, they wasn't white.
Didn't even
until
fuck
they
with
fell in line. The Hispanics, there's a whole population of them that have fallen in line.
Asians.
And they're white now, right? Asians, same thing. The only one who hasn't, and that's because
white
we
Asians
are a
walking around
caste
right now.
system, is us. We the only ones who've not been allowed to fold, right? And that is kind of the impetus of America. Fall the fucking line, unless we don't want you in line. And thus far, they've not wanted us in line. Right. And now they're allowing a populace or a percentage of us to fall in line. Now, why is the question we need to ask ourselves. You know what I mean? What's that look like on the back end of that shit? Because some of us just ain't gonna never fall in line, and some of us just never gonna be accepted into the fold.
Period.
You know what I mean? I don't see any value in that fold.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in it.
So the why is the preeminent question.
But then it comes back to, you know, do we have the ability to then defend ourselves, right? If we're going to be the only group of people left out of this fucking system, then we better be ready to defend ourselves, defend our communities. We have to be self-sustainable. And so that's like what you were saying at the top of the show. That's what I'm saying. Like, you need to, you like, if you don't know shit about firearms, you need to be talking to Instructor Mike Brown on the regular. Like, you need to get that shit in order.
Real shit.
That's
but
where we are
before you
right
can
now.
defend, you got to first define. Therein lies our problem. We've not defined.
Real spill.
You know what I'm saying? The hood, right? I you know, we did that thing around Juneteenth, and that thing was like, for me specifically, I have a few events in my life that was like life-altering events, just from the emotional standpoint, right? I was at the Million Man March, the original Million Man March. That shit emotionally changed my outlook on life. You know what I mean? To see that kind of energy in real time with some different shit.
Right.
When we did the thing around Juneteenth, and we did a caravan through the city, there was a certain energy that was attached to that shit. It just made you feel a certain kind of way. And we're riding through the hoods, for real, the hoods, right? And me and TJ, shout out to TJ Crawford, me and TJ was on the lead truck, I guess you would call it, lead car, whatever it was. And TJ's got the megaphone, and he's shouting Black Power, and all just these little sayings, and everybody throwing up the black fist and all that. And we get to certain areas, and we throwing up the black fist, and the shorties is looking at us dropping the rakes.
Right.
Or throwing up the 5.
Right.
And it kind of irritated the shit out of me, because in this moment, for me, it was like, man, this is bigger than that. But at the same time, you got to look at it from their standpoint. That's their identity.
That's what they know.
They fuck that black shit. I'm a gangster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where I found
part of the sickness. That's where I find value. Right. Same thing with the homosexual.
Same
almost
shit.
a lot of times.
Same shit.
Fuck that black shit. I'm gay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because this is where my value asset lies.
Right.
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 And that shit is crippling. It's crippling, G, and it hurts our community. So before you can defend, you got to first define.
I think that's the first step to any of the stuff we want to do, right? To define like exactly who we are, right? And then we can try to get to a space of, okay, once we know who we are, then now what do we want? How do we go about getting it? How do we go about delivering consequences when we don't get it? But defining who we are is first, and that's what every group has ever done, right? They talk to, define American. Like, they come in, immigrant, all that, cool, right? But I'm still motherfucking Mexican, right? And I still remember where I came from. I still know all my shit. I'm still attached to my culture in that way, right? And I think that's dope as fuck. There's extreme value in that. We don't have that. We have to create that. And instead of going about the business of creating that and defining that for ourselves, we just keep trying to get assimilated into a culture that has told us time and time again, motherfucker, you are not welcome. You are not wanted. Right? And that ain't me saying we need to go to some other place. Nah, this is home. This is our shit. Right? We ain't got to go nowhere. We just have to define who we are and what it is we want. We got to take a break right now. When we come back, should we play the video? Can we play the video of the dude that got shot? Fuck it, let's play.
What video of the dude that got shot?
The white supremacist dude that got shot dead by the security dude.
I don't have that video.
I got it. We'll play it.
Okay, let's go.
We'll get that. We'll play that video for you when we come back. This is I Said What I Said. Herb Howard, Toussaint Warner here with you to 3 o'clock. We'll be right back.
WIFTV-PM.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black group members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek-letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard. Well, what was the power of the Bible? Most motherfuckers couldn't read. So the Bible legitimately changed the world because motherfuckers began to learn to read. And once I can learn to read, wait a minute, I can question some of this bullshit you talking
What school you go to, though?
It don't matter.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
I went to Dunbar. Yes! That sounds Dunbar.
Oh, it's good.
People disrespect the city schools. This Chicago. And I'm a motherfucking genius.
And that's on period.
Shout out to the mighty man. Nah, I'm just playing. But seriously though, think about it though, right? The Bible legitimately changed the world, right? What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard live on What's In It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your Black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
We fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, you already know.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh, my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
Biggest threat to Illinois citizens from Washington is health care costs and policies. Senior citizens have their Social Security reduced from Medicaid, and some of our senior citizens live off $3 a week for food allowance. Working families are facing bankruptcy over policy and limit and costs. Drug prices require decisions between food and Medicaid. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
WIFTBPM.
And we are back. We are live from the beautiful What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. Herb Howard, Toussaint Warner here with you till 3 o'clock. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. It means a great, great deal to us. Told you that we were going to play you guys a video. I don't know where that happened at. You know where that was at?
Denver, Colorado. I don't know if it's Denver. It was Colorado.
It was in Colorado? Okay. Out in Colorado, you had white supremacist dude screaming at a black dude, right? And what was interesting about it was the black dude has on a shirt that says "Black Guns Matter."
Okay,
right? And you know, to the point that we've been talking about all day about being prepared. And I see that Mike Brown is here now. Shout out to Mike Brown. What's up, Mike? Trigger Mike, I like to call him, man. Trigger Mike Lowry, right? Trigger Mike. You know, we got to be prepared, right? And so dude having a shirt that says Black Guns Matter kind of lets you know where his energy was in terms of, you know, being out there. And obviously, almost predictably, I would say, a verbal altercation ensued. And then it turned into a physical altercation where this white supremacist dude wanted to assault a security guard, a dude who was a security guard for the news company. And it cost him his life. Pull that video up.
Go get it. You fucking touch me, right? Mace me. Fucking mace me, bro. Come back to me and fucking mace me, nigga. Mace me, motherfucker. Mace me, motherfucker. Fucking mace me.
We got the audio still, though.
All right, cool. We can play the audio, but I'm seeing something else.
Don't touch me, old man. Don't fucking touch me, man. Don't fucking touch me. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. Fucking tough guy. You got a knife at the time. You're so fucking tough. Fuck around. Show me, go get it. Next person to fucking touch me, right? Mace me. Fucking mace me, bro. Back to me.
It was a brother arguing, saying, you know, it's going back and forth. Maybe motherfucker, you know, basically it's about to kick off. Mm-hmm. And then in the purview, you see somebody with a firearm let it go. Yeah. Somebody fall down.
Yeah.
And I guess the story is that he attacked the security guard in a certain kind of way, and the security guard said, I'm sick of this shit.
See if you can pull up the ones with the still images that I sent you. Because those still images tell the story of how he got his dumbass shot. Because it went from... It went from,
and that's the security guard in that first image, right?
Right. So in that first image, you have the security guard. I'm gonna see if I can pull it. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here to get it so y'all can see it. But what you'll see is they have an altercation, and then the white supremacist dude slaps the security guard from the news channel. He slaps him in his face, and then he pulls out mace and maces the security guard. At that point, the security guard kind of ups his firearm, steps back, boom, and it sounds like he fired one shot and ended that shit right there.
Laid him down.
Laid his goofy ass down. But that's where you kind of need to be. These motherfuckers feel emboldened to walk up to you and slap you in your motherfucking face. I think slapping somebody is the second most disrespectful thing you could do to them. Like just after spitting on them, right? Spitting on somebody is the worst to me. But then slapping me is next. I'd rather you punch me than slap me. I feel like such a fucking hoe if you just slap me in my face, right? Yeah, bow, right? With the power to Esco.
So, Mike Burries, I guess that is,
okay,
is in the comments, and he says, sorry, I just tuned back in. Have you guys came up with a solution yet, or are you just talking?
Solution of what?
That would be the question I was asked. But either way, I just wanted to say thanks, Mike, for tuning in, because obviously we're more interesting than your life.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate you, man.
Thank
you,
Michael.
So as soon as you get that solution, we'll still be here, and we'll be open and hearing yours.
Thank you, Michael. Welcome.
But I read Mike's comment on purpose, though, right? Because I guess the question becomes a solution to what? It's all encompassing, right? Which goes back to the statement I made about define before defend. Right. And once we define the group, then the solutions will lie within the group. And the solutions will lie based on what are the needs of the group. Because there is no solution to racism, white supremacy, except for the annihilation of racist white people. It just isn't. You understand what I'm saying? It's this just isn't. Right? Now, we can live peacefully among that. Like, I don't expect everybody to like you. I don't even give a shit if everybody do. I don't expect that nor desire that.
I say all the time, how you feel about me ain't none of my business. I don't give a fuck.
At all, right? You can't legislate love.
Right. How you behave is what I care about.
That's it. So, there's a conversation that you have the bootstrapper conversations to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. There's the do for self is do for self. I'm with all of those strategies.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what they all break down to is security for our community. Right, but in order to have security for our community, the first solution needs to be defining our community, and I think that's where we fall off so many times. Right, that's where we have the conversation around gay rights, specifically from a black perspective, or you had a conversation around women's rights, specifically from a black perspective. Right, you hear these people saying, I'm a man first, I'm a woman first. No,
you're black.
You're not.
First.
In America, you're black first
and last.
Period. And last. Period. Right. So all of those other. Whatever those other attachments are to where you're finding value, whether it be gay, whether it be baseball player. I mean, whatever you attach to yourself.
Whatever.
None of that shit supersedes blackness. Because blackness has been outlawed and defined as enemy number one since the inception of this country.
That is your weapon. You are always armed. So you could, whether you a black woman, don't matter. That cop put his knee in a black pregnant woman's back. Like, had her on the ground, she's pregnant. He got his knee on her back last week, right? You had the dude he's like vice president of Versace, right? He comes out of the store that he's the vice president of the company with one Versace bag. Police like, you stole that. What? Nigga, I made this, first of all.
No.
But you can't outrun black. It is what it is.
just can't.
So what you need to do is fucking embrace it and stop trying to escape it.
That's right. Embrace it and build it from that point forward.
Period.
You know what I mean?
Period. Because, like you said, you can't, like, the racism it's there. It is what it is, and they continue to instill those types of philosophies into their offspring. Right? You got the 17-year-old up in Kenosha, right? So his mama took him there. Like they continue to do this kind of shit, and so all you can do is embrace your blackness and prepare yourself for what may come. Because even when we said, okay, well, fine, y'all don't fuck with us, cool. We're going to go over here, we're going to do our own thing, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Harlem Renaissance, whatever the fuck it is, they come fuck that up too. Because it ain't just get away from me, it's I fucking hate you.
But the ideas of black devaluing is ingrained into the defining of America. It's what makes America America.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get America without the degradation of black bodies. You just don't get it.
That's a
it
fact.
Never happened.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So to vote it away is foolish. To wish it away is foolish. That's never going to happen.
Right.
It's all encompassing,
Right.
right? And that's not even my fight. I'm not here to fight when the world some motherfucker accept me. I don't give a fuck about beckeries.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about the tomfoolery of white culture. I don't really give a shit.
Right.
Right. But what I do care about is us
Mm-hmm.
and how we define and how we move amongst us. That's all that's important.
Right.
And thus far, we've been failing as a collective. And I don't even want to say failing thus far because there have been moments in time where we have moved as a unified group.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that in our lifespan, in my lifespan, and because I'm a student of history, I recognize that we moonwalking backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean moonwalking backwards in regards to like socially, 'cause we are, but it's this illusion. It looks like you're exempt from that social moonwalk, like you can't go back to slavery.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying, and I always say this in the conversations that we have, is that it's a nuanced conversation. And what traditionally, what we as a black community has always been able to hold on to is this kind of spiritual narrative, right? This understanding of God energy. And I see it in our lifetime that we're moving away from that God energy and becoming obsessed with this kind of capital energy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you become obsessed with that kind of capital energy, that frequency of capitalism, your moral aptitude goes away. And capital becomes your God. And if capital is your God, then there is no escaping from that.
No.
You just become a slave to the capital at whatever level. And what we've seen and we've had from the conversation with the porn star, I bought that shit right out. How the fuck are you a yogi and a porn star? To me, it seems like conflicting ideas because yogi is some spiritual shit. Fucking on camera is solely capitalism. You understand what I'm saying? So even in our mind, we start to validate this shit as rational.
Sure.
And it's not you can't be both of them things. You got to pick a fucking side, which goes back to the identity thing, right? Because if you're standing up fighting for the LGBTQ rights and some of that shit is stepping over the line into black populism or the black money, going back to the conversation with reparations. Cam was on here the other day. Anybody from the diaspora should get money. No, the fuck they shouldn't.
No, they should not.
But that's because there's no drawn lines.
Right.
You need barriers.
It's not clearly defined.
You can't have it like that.
Right. And
Right?
I like Cam. I like Cam Howard in Cobra here in Chicago.
I fuck with Cam too,
Fuck
but
with
that's
Cam.
just not.
But you're wrong.
You can't do that.
It's not, that's not true.
Back to The Wire, the greatest show ever written. Right? What's Marlo say? Y'all, you think it's one way.
But it ain't.
It ain't.
It's the other way.
But it's the other way.
Right.
That's just what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It don't work like that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that because we're regressing spiritually, you can start to see the opportunity for us to flourish slip away. Right? You can see it if you're paying attention at all. And I know, we kind of have an audience and a family group, a family base that kind of spans the gamut of ages. Right?
Yeah.
And we kind of serve as that middle ground between the elders and the youth.
Yep.
Right? We in that pocket right now in our age bracket.
Yeah.
You talk to the elders, you're going to get a certain perspective. You talk to the youth, you're going to get a certain perspective.
Sure.
But if you look at those two perspectives, there's nothing connecting them. These motherfuckers is on two different planets. And I'd have to assume that within us, our generation, that we're struggling between what the fuck planet we want to be on. Right? There's some value to the shit the elders say. It is.
Extreme.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But some of that shit is whack as fuck too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Some of this shit this youth say is valuable.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of that shit is whack as fuck too. But the difference is this youth shit is all rooted in what's good for me, myself. It's kind of, well, I ain't even gonna say that. Both of them groups is selfish than a motherfucker. That's the real truth. And the way to move through this shit effectively is to be selfless.
That's really the only way, right? I often refer to that old saying that youth is wasted on the young, right? Youth is wasted on the young, and it literally means that, you know, while we're young with all this energy and exuberance, we don't yet have the wisdom or prerequisite experience to match with that energy and exuberance, right? But it also suggests that perhaps by the time we acquire that wisdom through experience, we no longer have the energy to fight for things we were once so very passionate about. And so then it becomes absolutely imperative that we find a way to marry those two unique skill sets. We have to be able to match the wisdom and experience of older generations with the youthful exuberance and energy and the passion of the younger generations. The problem is we spend a whole lot of time finger pointing and blaming, right? Older generations look at younger generations and they see failed hopes and aspirations of generations past. Younger generations look at the older generation and say, well, y'all dropped the ball on us. Like, y'all was supposed to do this and y'all supposed to do that and y'all didn't do this for us, right? And the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But either way, it don't fucking matter. We don't really have time for that shit, right? We got to get our shit together and be moving as on one accord now, or it's going to be over with, period. And so all that, your fault, my fault, fuck it. Okay, it's over with, right? All right, I hit you hit me, whatever the fuck it is. Can we keep it pushing now? Because there are bigger things.
Being on one accord is more important than being right.
It is.
Right, and that's what we got to the conversation. All the conversation we had today was about, you know, how we seen white folks jump out the window to protect whiteness.
Yeah.
It ain't about right or wrong. It's about whiteness.
I love sports analogies all the time. I tell my football players all the time, like, if we playing defense, right, it don't matter if y'all call the wrong thing, so long as everybody got the call. Ain't no wrong way, right? So I might have called a certain play in. My captain might have heard something else. It don't really fucking matter. As long as you call it out and all 11 of y'all doing the same thing, we good. We don't have no bad plays here. Everything is solid if everybody's doing the same thing. The only play we can get fucked up is if 5 of y'all heard one play and 6 of y'all heard some other shit, and then y'all go do that. Now we finna get our ass smoked. They finna score on this play for sure, right? If we doing the same thing, it ain't no fucking wrong. Period. So whether we want to go about it in terms of, we gotta fight it out, or we gotta do it like this, as long as we're on the same page, as long as we understand what team we playing for and what we're trying to get accomplished, we cool.
So I don't know if this is off base or not, but I saw this. They had this documentary on Netflix. I don't even want to say documentary. It won a Sundance Film Festival award. It's a black chick, older chick trying to rap, and it's called 40-year-old version, not virgin like virgin, but the 40-year-old version. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's a comedy, and it's a lot of foul language in the comedy. It's cussing and bitches and all that, right? So I'm watching the documentary, not the documentary again, the show in the hotel the other day, and my daughter's in there, right? And my daughter is 11, you know what I mean? And I don't really got them barriers for my children, right? Yeah. I cuss. Yeah. This is who I am. One of the things, and this go back to my father too, he was like, one of the things he always said, never lie to your children about who you are. Right, don't set up no false ideas about who you are, and I don't. This is who the fuck daddy is, right? And ain't nothing wrong with daddy being who the fuck daddy is. Daddy take care of your ass, period. Right? So I'm watching this show, and it's cussing and shit. Now me and my daughter, we watch all kind of shit together without my wife knowing. Right?
It's like you and Bella a certain kind of way. Yeah. Your wife and Eric a certain kind of way.
It's a different energy, right? We watching Dave Chappelle specials and shit. Right. D.I. Cole, we in there cracking up. But when she come in, value that motherfucker down. So I'm watching the joint and my daughter's laughing and we laughing. My wife starts to side-eye me and shit. And I was like, man, you irritate the fuck out of me.
Hey, your wife, man, she could be
irritate.
No, that's not the word I was going to use.
Oh, threatening?
Intimidating.
Hey, you scary. I ain't scared.
Not very many people intimidate me. But your wife is one of those people who intimidates me. Man, I walk in y'all house like, oh, shit.
You don't let it intimidate. She's soft.
I open the door, I stick my head out, I'm like, is she here?
Yeah, that's
I'm fucking around. She cool, but she does have that demeanor. First of all, you sitting here with him. What was we talking about before we got on air?
I don't know.
What was going on down in Arizona at the pool?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, right. They down in Arizona at the pool, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But listen, back to the story I'm telling, goddammit.
Interrupt the man now. Come on.
we watching the joint, right? And she looking over me side-eye shit. So I looked at Bella, was like, yeah, all right, we gonna turn this off. But we riding in the car, and the goddamn WAP song comes on. Right? Now, I think that shit is completely ignorant. I hate that shit. Right? But I don't say nothing. I'm watching how she responds. I want to see if she turns this shit off.
Your wife or your daughter?
No, my wife.
Okay, cool.
Right? She don't turn this shit off. So I'm immediately offended.
Aha! I got her looking at her.
This is some bullshit.
You fucking hypocrite.
You fucking hypocrite. But again, but check this out though, and I think this is so important, right? It's the nuance of the two conversations. For me, it's the intention, right? In the movie we was watching, there was a story that was unfolding. It was being told, even though the language was whatever the language was, it was attached to a story that had some value, right? But when you look at the WAP song, for me, outside of the language, the narrative has very little value. The narrative is essentially grow up and sell some pussy. For me, I don't want my daughter hearing that narrative. I don't want my daughter associating to that idea as being valuable.
Makes sense.
Whereas the conversation in the movie was, yeah, they was using foul language and shit, but the conversation in the movie was really find your greatness and don't bend or break for nobody, right? It was kind of stand in your light, stand in your polarity, and believe in yourself. Do what you think is right. So even though the name of the shit was like 40-year-old version, she made it a hashtag at the end of the movie, and it was like, what's the FYOV? So she was like, finance your own vision. Fuck these old vultures. You know what I'm saying? It was like all these attached to this acronym of what the FYOV was. But again, the very narrative or the value of the movie was about standing in your proper polarity, believing in yourself, going hard for the shit that you believe in, right? Don't compromise yourself for whatever, for fame, for value. Whereas the damn WAP song is the exact opposite. It's compromise yourself for fame. Compromise yourself for money.
Right.
Here's the value asset.
Right.
And it just speaks to how the differences and the balances of how we view the world.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I want to address something real quick. What's in it for the black people media brother, Mike Brown. He says, actually, we agree more than y'all think, Herb, too. Mike, I want to be real clear about this, brother. I don't disagree with anything you say. Like I don't disagree with anything that you say.
I disagree with all kind of shit Mike says.
I don't, because generally everything that Mike says is true. I think there's another side of it that he don't give any credence to. But I think there's value in that.
Well, then maybe that's why we here. That's the balance.
Exactly. And so I often agree with Mike. I just think there's another side to it that causes some of these outcomes that we talk about. But there's extreme value to being that person that's like, nah, we ain't talking about the excuses. We ain't talking about the reasons and the whys and the hows, right? All I'm saying is this is what we got to do. We got to be accountable. We got to get this done. There's value in being that person. You need that person on the team. Mike is and his philosophy, the way he goes about doing things, critically important part of the equation for our liberation. Mike, I very, very rarely disagree with you, brother. So we give you a hard time because you say wild ass shit, but it's necessary. It's a necessary part of the equation. So I don't disagree with you very often at all. For real.
Yeah, well, I disagree with Mike all the time. I just wanted to put that out there. The views and comments made by Herb Howard were the views and comments of Herb Howard.
Yeah, make sure y'all watch Triggered with Mike Brown every Tuesday and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. You'll be pissed off. Absolutely. Mike be yelling at motherfuckers. Mike be like, fuck you. No, he don't say fuck you, but he be like, unfuck your fuck. Unfuck
I have to
your
take
fuck.
my headphones off. I'm like, why is my heart racing?
Unfuck your fuck. Yes, you're triggered. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You're going to continue to do that stupid shit. And I'm like, damn.
Right. And he's like, eyes on me. Yeah.
Right. Eyes on me. Unfuck your fuck. I mean,
a children's book by
you
Mike
can find
Brown.
it on Amazon, by the way.
By Mike Brown.
You dirty slut. Mike be wildin', G. Like
Mike be wildin', man. But the shit his take on the Breonna Taylor case, right? Everything he said about the Breonna Taylor case is true, right? Her getting involved with such and such guys and being doing these types of shit. Cool. All that's true. Don't have shit to do with the presidency in China for them people coming in her house and killing her though.
So our number one fan, Mike Burris, who always has a solution.
Hello, Maker.
Says Mike is about solutions.
Good. Solutions, Mike. Oh,
I
that's the
see
dude
a
that always say
relationship-
solutions, Mike?
I see a relationship brewing there. Mike Brown and Solution
Mike and Mike.
Mike and Mike.
Mike and Mike.
Mike and Mike.
Unfuck your fuck and get a
Unfuck
solution.
your fuck with a solution.
Fuck your solution.
All right, let's get out.
How do we go down
Let's
this?
get out of here real quick.
We went way too far down this road. I don't know how to turn around and go back tonight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break. When we come back from break, we'll be done talking about Mike and Mike. This is I Say What I Said. His name is Tucson Warner. My name is Herb. We'll be right back after this.
WIIFTVPM.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
WIIFTVPM.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that. I know you just said that. That's what I just said. That's what I'm saying to you. Exactly. What he just said.
With Herb Howard and Tucson Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Let that play for a minute, Esco. Sometimes I wish I was a rapper, bro.
Yeah, shoot a shot.
Nah, ain't my thing.
You gotta go look at that 40-year-old virgin again.
Okay.
That's her whole push. She wanted to become a rapper at 40. It was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
But it was just an interesting story.
I'll check it out for sure, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its finest. Last segment kind of turned into a little bit of triggered, but that was fun though.
So Ready Rock said something, and this kind of off the cuff, but I think it was an interesting statement. I think it's important that we kind of at least speak to it, right? Because I said that me and my daughter watch all kind of shit that she probably shouldn't be watching, at least in the eyes of the social norm. I personally don't give a fuck. It's not that I don't give a fuck. It's that I'm honest with my children about who I am.
You need to be.
And what I'm on.
You need to be.
Right. And again, like I said about the WAP song versus the 40-year-old virgin movie, for me, it's less about the words that's being used and more about the ideas that's being spewed. You know what I mean? I think there's a unique difference. Matter of fact, you just said I wish I was a rapper. When I look at rap today and the difference between rap in my day versus today, it's not necessarily a difference in language. It's a difference in narrative. Right? The language was the same in both days, but today they're not saying shit. Right, it's just a whole bunch of fuck shits and bitches.
Right,
but it's not attached to nothing.
Right,
they said the same words in my day, but it was attached to a story. It was attached to a narrative. Matter of fact, that's part of the shit that was in the 40-year-old version. The old sister came in, rap. She was talking about some shit. She was using the same words the young people was using, but she was talking about some shit. And there was a scene in the movie where this little young dude was rapping. He cold. He got all the bars, and the producer said, "Man, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you even know?" Because he don't. It's just words that rhyme together. He ain't talking about shit.
Don't mean shit.
And I think, again, back to the Define America, the people who consult on on the TV shows, who kind of create narratives and create ideas, right? It's the same kind of way that's how you dumb down the people, right? So culturally, music is a vibration. right? And it seeps into our soul. That's why they program radio stations, right? So you could not like a song, but after that shit plays 82 times, it becomes part of your psyche. I ain't never liked Soulja Boy, but you could turn on some Soulja Boy records and I don't know every
Word
fucking
for
word
word.
because it played that much on so many different mediums. It's programming, right? And we get conditioned and fall in line with the programming. So what happens today when you get the narrative, so many narratives being pushed out there that ain't about shit. It's just vulgarness, right? Then the community or the people who are attached to that frequency start to move in a way that's just about vulgarness.
Because it serves the agenda, right? And remind me before we get out here, got like 10 minutes, remind me that I just came up with an amazing Halloween idea for what's in it for the Black People Media. But it serves their agenda to let these types of messages go out. I saw a video one time, and I'll try to find it once. And I also just sent you that video to your Instagram DM about, you was talking about, letting your kids know who you are. The most extreme example I've ever heard of this, I've come across this video. This dude needs to be taken out back and stabbed to death with needles, okay? He says some outlandish shit. And if you could pull that up, I'll try to get it in before we get out of here. But my point is about the messaging thing. There was this video of this white dude. He's talking about how music companies allow messaging about killing black people to go out regularly, right? It's okay to talk about killing black people. It's not okay to talk about nothing else. He used the example of Rick Ross. Rick Ross has a song with, it don't matter who has, it don't matter. But the lyric in the song says, put Molly all in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it, right? Obviously talking about date raping this chick, right? Completely wrong with it. Reebok, right?
Lost all kinds of sponsorships behind it.
Reebok dropped his $50 million deal for that, right? Now, this is the same Rick Ross who every fucking song is talking about killing black people, selling dope.
And selling cocaine in the neighborhood.
That's okay. We're good with that. Keep talking about killing black people. But we ain't going to talk about this rape shit. That's not
Same
okay.
thing Dave Chappelle. Why can't I say fag?
Right.
Because, well, Dave, you're not a fag. Well, I ain't a nigga
I ain't a
either.
nigga either.
Same shit.
Same shit.
Right? But one of the things, the thing that Reddy Rock said, she said, I had to learn that our children must know that we are people before parents. And I think that's so real because we can start as parents or as people in general, what we do is we create these false identities. Right? And then when the truth is explored or when the truth is found out, someone who put that kind of trust in you like a child, once they find out your truth, there's no more trust attached to you, which is why I don't lie to them in the first place. I ain't got to pretend. I ain't got to double back. I ain't got to remember what I said because this is who I am and I'm going to stand on who I am.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Right.
You know, I made a joke, but I got partners who didn't meet their parents until they was in their 30s and 40s. You know what I'm saying? Your mama hiding in the backyard or hiding in the garage smoking reefer because she didn't want you to know. For me, you know, my daddy grew reefer in the basement. It was reefer in our refrigerator.
Right.
He stored, it was pounds of that shit stored in the refrigerator. It just was what it was.
I can tell your daddy did it because you called it reefer.
It's been around since I came.
Reefer, right?
It's been around since I showed up. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of our experience, right?
Right.
But at the same time, let's say the chronic come out and everybody in our community losing their mind. My peers starting for the first time smoking reefer. I wasn't smoking reefer, but to smoke reefer wasn't a rebellion. This is what happens in my house. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I was gravitated. I don't do no kind of drugs. You know that. I don't drink none of that shit. You don't. But my point is that had never. None of that shit was like a rebellion in me,
right?
Because this shit was so normalized in my household.
And I think there's probably a correlation there though.
It absolutely is.
Between like you not like indulging in liquor or marijuana or none of that shit, right? As a person who was exposed to it early versus people who first time they seen it was I went away in college and now you fucking flunked out because all you fucking do is smoke weed now, right? Like it's a different kind of thing. All right? I think exposing people to certain things would be cool.
It also creates a paradigm when you understand that none of this shit don't define you, right? My daddy smoked reefer. He ain't a fucking dope fiend.
No.
You know what I mean? My daddy cussed. That make him a bad dude.
I don't think there's anything wrong with reefer or cursing.
None of it. But even I'm talking about my father. We ain't talking about the day where reefer's legalized and normalized. I'm talking about how motherfuckers would view certain things at a certain time. Right? He was always honest with me, you know? And really in a lot of ways in the community, I see a lot of that anyway. Like, you know, I got some friends whose mamas was dope fiends for real.
For real.
And you could see the difference in kind of responses to that energy. You know what I'm saying? And that understanding. So all I'm saying is just as a parent for me, I ain't telling you it works for you. That's on you. I don't give a shit. But in me and mine's house, they gonna know who I am.
Yeah, I don't have children, but you know, if and when I do, I'm definitely gonna be me. Like this is who I am, right? all the time, right? Now you don't, certain shit you don't want to mix, but just in terms of who I am, yeah, this is me, right? All the time. And I think that there's value in that. I think there's value in your children seeing you as a fucking person, as a human, like not just my parent, but you're also a person, right? Who is out here, living authentically. And
getting beyond the veil of illusion.
Unfucking your fuck.
Same thing we need to do with America. We need to see America in its truth instead of through the lens of its illusion.
Absolutely. Illusions are not good for you. If you ain't at a motherfucking David Blaine or, you know what I'm saying, some shit like that, the illusions ain't good. You need to see what's actually happening, period. I got a dope idea for Halloween. Esco, you ready for this?
Uh-huh.
What's in it for the Black People Media Halloween? When is the 31st?
On the 31st.
Saturday.
It's a Saturday?
The 31st is usually on the 31st.
Generally speaking, it's on the 31st. Right after the 30th?
Usually.
Fuck you. What
Saturday.
day of the week is it?
Saturday.
It's a Saturday?
I was right.
All right. So maybe like that Friday, everybody is somebody else from What's in It for the Black People Media.
So I heard y'all talking about this.
So
dressing
who
up
am I gonna be?
and Spirit Week and all that type.
Now, I heard something about that, but I don't know. I don't know what the decision was on that. That's what Don was talking about. So we got to holler at Don on that piece. But I'm saying everybody be somebody else. I already decided I'm gonna be Mike Brown. Friday, October 29th.
Don't fuck your fuck.
Oh, I said what I said. I'm
book.
going to be Instructor Mike. I'm gonna be Trigger Mike.
I was gonna be the fly.
You're gonna be the fly? No, you gotta be you gotta be somebody from the family, Esco. So you gotta be like Don, or you gotta be like or be like
so wait.
be like Terrence or something.
But listen, Hot Boy Herb, you gotta start.
You gonna be two?
You gotta start thinking long term, Hot Boy Herb.
What?
I heard Don talking about doing this Spirit Week thing and all that type of shit, and they was talking about dressing up for Halloween and all that shit.
Go ahead.
So if Halloween is on the 31st, which is a Saturday,
sure.
And if we're going to enact whatever we're going to enact on a Friday.
Oh, I thought you said Sunday.
It being Relationship Friday, because that's what we do on
Oh,
Fridays.
yeah.
That brings purview for you to bring in some of the most raunchiest people you could think of. Because it's Halloween and they come out their shell.
Oh, listen. I love Halloween. I love going to Halloween parties.
I used to really enjoy Halloween.
Because it's evolved into this who can come up with the best most creative costume to just who can wear the sluttiest shit possible.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yes.
I can be myself for once.
Halloween party? Yes. Yes. I am there. But for What's in It for the Black People Media,
that's how you can leverage that. You can leverage.
All right, cool.
You can get your super Hot Boy Herb on that day.
We get it popping in here for
Don't say
Halloween.
we. I would be on live stream outside the room.
Because we know you was a trained Negro.
That's right. I'm scared.
Yo, fuck, he ain't let me tell y'all earlier, but I'm about to tell y'all.
No.
We in Arizona.
No. Don't tell me. Don't say nothing. We might have extra ears on this podcast. No, be quiet. Stop. No.
But okay, forget it. But on Halloween, I'm gonna be Mike Brown. I'm Trigger Mike on Halloween. So until then, I'm gonna be working on all my Mike Brown.
Unfuck your fucks.
Unfuck your fuck.
You got to get your book together. We got to get the children's book. We got to. You can't be unfuck your fuck though. You got to be a little more creative.
No, I gotta be more. I gotta do a lot.
You got to take it way over the top.
No, you gotta do a lot of work to be Mike.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to fucking cite Supreme Court cases verbatim. This versus this 0.7. Like, hold on, Mike. How the fuck do you know this shit? Mike is well read. He be on all that shit.
Mike knows all this
shit. It take
shit.
a lot. I'm gonna give me one of the motherfucking Instructor Mike shirts. Hey, yo, Mace. Talking to Esco Mike, who you gonna be for Halloween? I think we should do What's in It for the Black
People Media. You know he's gonna be one of us because he wants to be one of us.
Mace only wants to be Mace.
Don't worry about me, guys.
Look,
I'm winning this shit.
We should.
We winning the whole shit, dog.
And then I'm leaving at 9 a.m., man.
And then some of y'all off for the rest of the
I'm gonna be Mike Brown. Mike. I need an Instructor Mike shirt, bro. I need an Instructor Mike shirt. I need me about 17 more pistols.
Get you one of them Black Guns Matter shirts.
Yeah, I need me
I'm gonna be heard for motherfucking Halloween.
Oh, you gonna get in trouble being me?
Dad jeans.
You gonna hey, the president gonna beat your ass. You try to be me, she ain't gonna go for none of that. Huh?
So D.S. Sanders says it better be a brother this Friday with his chest out because you had No Name and Twins up here last Friday.
Oh.
So I'm not really with the brother with his chest out having a conversation. I'm just not into that.
He just
probably
said,
be a boring conversation because I would be out and feel very uncomfortable in here. I just said that probably wouldn't be the right move.
Listen, man, I'm definitely gonna be Trigger Mike for Halloween, man. I gotta study. I gotta work on his voice a little bit more and read up on some Supreme Court cases, man. We got to get the fuck out of here. Coming up next is Chicago famous Mike Love and Diz here with you every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m. Hey, you should be Diz.
No, I'm cool.
You should be Diz for What's In It for the Black People Media Halloween.
See, look at Maze. Maze about to start some shit right now. Nah,
Yeah, you could
look at that
be
light
Diz.
skin shit. See how you motherfucking colorist act?
Mike Love and Jizz coming up next, man. Y'all make sure y'all keep it locked right here. Mike Love and Diz, Chicago famous. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to I Said What I Said. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. We will be back right here on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Central Time. Until then, man, y'all be good to each other. For Tucson Warner and for Esco, my name is Herb Howard. Peace.
Hi, boy Herb. Salam alaikum.
WIIFTV PM.